Hello everyone and welcome back to the web development training. So, as you can see on my screen, I have a line of codes, but don't worry, don't be scared. I'm actually going to explain each and every one of them. So now from this to this, we call it the HTML boilerplate. Okay, so before you start any coding, before you start writing anything, it has to start with this, like all this have to be intact. So first of all, let me start by explaining the doc type HTML. Okay, so this doc type HTML, it declares your document as a HTML5, which is it tells your browser how to interpret the HTML. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. All right, then this HTML lang in, it starts the HTML document and it sets the language to English. You can actually decide to use any language that you want. If you want to use Chinese, Korean for Korean lovers, if you want to use India, anyone you want to use. But as for me, I'm setting my language to English. Now, inside my head elements, now note this right here is what we call the opening tag. Okay, and this here is what we call the closing tag. Now, it's not every code that has a opening and closing tag. For example, your IMG tag, it doesn't have a closing tag, it only has an opening tag. All right, so this is how an opening tag looks like, and this is how a closing tag looks like. It has a stroke. If you notice, it's the same for our body, our HTML. So HTML is this one. This is a closing for this one over here. So inside our head elements, we have the meta chassis. Okay, let me start from the head element. So the met element contains this meta information here about the web page. It's not visible to users. Okay, it's just for your browser and all those stuff. Then we have the meta chassis UTF-8, which sets the character encoding to UTF-8. This UTF-8 means that it supports all characters and symbols. Okay, then our meta name viewport context with device with initial scale 1.0. This means it makes the web page responsive. That means no matter the laptop you're using, it's going to adjust to different sizes. So I'm using what's the name of this, HP. Yeah, I'm using HP. Some might be using Dell, some might be using Lenovo. So depending on the size of your laptop, this will make it adjust to the size of your screen. All right, next we have is our title. So now in this our title, in between it, we're going to have our sign up. All right, now after our title, this title sets the title of our web page. All right, now, and it also appears on our browser tab. Okay, so let me make a sign up website. Now this link rel style sheet. Now our CSS, if you notice, we have sign up.css. Our CSS is what we call our style sheet. All right, and this href is mostly meant for links. So for me to link my HTML with my CSS, what I do is I come here, or just go there, then I right click and copy relative paths, then I control V, which is paste. So now it's linked. So anything I put here, like if I style it, like add the color, add the sizes, the fonts, is going to affect this HTML here. All right, great. So now I've closed my head elements. Great. Now we have the body. Now this body contains every other thing. All right, it begins every content of your web page. All the other contents of your web page can be included in your body element. All right, so now for our body element, we're going to start by creating a div class. Now instead of writing div class, div class and having this, and let's say I want to make it container. all right, and then I do this and get my closing. Now instead of typing all this, what I do is I do dot container and I press enter, and I have my div class container. All right, great. So now I'm going to enter. So now I want to put something inside this div class container. Now inside this my div class container, I'm going to have another div class, and this other div class I'm going to name it sign up box, because aside the background we're going to have like another box that's going to be like popping out that'll have all the information like sign up and all those other stuff. All right, so I'll just write sign up, then just to make it neat, sign up box. Now that's another div. Now I press enter. So now whatever I'm putting is inside the sign up box, directly inside the container. All right, now in HTML we have h1 to h6. Okay, h1 is the largest. Let's say h1 to h6 is like from largest to smallest. All right, so if you want a very big bold text, like h1 is literally called the header text, then h2 is a little bit after the h1 and the rest. Now h6 is the smallest. All right, and you can have as many h1 elements or h2 elements or h3 elements as you want in your code. Just depends on what you are doing. All right, but as for this, we're going to be having a h2 element, and inside my h2 elements I'm going to have sign up. All right, now after my h2 I'm going to be having a p element. Now the p element is mostly for longer texts. Let's write, hi, my name is Nelson Fortune, I'm the founder of Fentech, or hi, my name is Ekpo Faith and I'm the co-founder of Fentech. All right, that's where I use my p element. Okay, now for my p element I'm going to have, please fill in this form. Please fill in this form to create an account, because we're doing a sign up page. So before you do anything, you have to like create an account here. All right, so after our p element next thing we're going to have is we're going to have a form. All right, so now the form is still going to be inside the sign up box. So what I'll just do is I'll just write form. Okay, and then I enter. Now inside this my form I'm going to have a div class, another div class, and this div class is for like all those, your first name, your last name, your phone number, your password, all those things. That's what we use this form for. Oh my god, I spelled from, sorry. Okay, please note that little mistakes can make your code not to run. All right, so this form is for all those things. So now I'm creating another div class and I'm going to name it impute group. We mostly like using impute group. All right, then after my impute group, now it now starts for first name. Now for name, I don't know if you've tried doing a Google Doc form before. Yeah, now if it's for name you choose long text. If it's for anything checkbox, you choose checkbox. If it's for numbers, you put just numbers. You understand that kind of thing? So now this is what we do if it's for name. You understand? So what we start with is input type. The input type is going to be text. That is, your name has to be in text. I don't think I've seen anybody's name that is in numbers. Then you have your placeholder. Your placeholder is going to be first name. Then it's going to be required, so you have to fill it before you can submit or create an account. You understand? Required. Then I'm going to close this. Now under this one I'm going to have another one again. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this one, Ctrl C, and then I'll press enter and do Ctrl V. Now the next thing I'm going to have now is I'm going to change it to last name. That is this one. I'll change it to last name. All right, yeah. So the first one is first name, the second one is last name. Now, after this particular div for this input group, we're going to have another input type, but it's going to be under this div that is closing the input group. Okay, now we're going to have input type, and the input type is going to be email. All right, and then our placeholder as well is going to be email as well. Then after our placeholder, we're going to have our still required. Guys, you have to put your email, and then I'm going to close this. Okay, great. So now after this email, the next thing we're going to have is the password. Okay, so what I'll just do is I'll just copy this. So first thing I'm going to have here is going to be password, and here too is going to be password. I'm change this to capital E, and let me change this to capital P. Alright, so now we have our first name, last name, email, and password. Now there are some sign up pages that have confirmed password, and there are some that don't have. But as for me and my household, I am going to put confirmed password. Alright, so what I just do is I just still paste. Watch him. So that's how you do that. Alright, so here I'm going to have confirm. No, I still have password here. It's going to be in the placeholder that I'm going to have my confirm password. All right, so I'll still have password here, and for my email I'm going to have confirm password. Oh, password. All right, so yeah, please note that my actually had internet connection here or here. You understand? For all this is to just bring that for you quick. Now you type it from beginning to the end. Thank you. God bless you. So I want us to view whatsoever we have done so far. So what I do is I just come to my bottom right. You see where we have go live, right? Yeah. So you're going to go live, and your current browser that you have, all right, is going to open it either using Google Chrome, or you might use your Microsoft Edge, or you might use your Mozilla Firefox, anyone you have on your laptop. It's going to open with a browser. But if you have Google Chrome, surely it's going to open with Google Chrome. So while we're waiting for that to load, let's come back and look at our code. So now after this our confirm password, there's always a stuff for kind of like a checkbox that said I accept terms of use, all these privacy policy and the rest of things. So before that, let me see if this has opened. Oh, God of network, please. So while we're still waiting for that to load, let's still come back here. So now after our form and everything, we're going to still have this. Now is for the checkbox. Okay, so what we're going to have is we're going to do dot check box. All right, let me make it checkbox group. Checkbox group. Yeah, so inside there I'm still going to have my normally input type. Input type is going to be checkbox, so that means like a checkbox is meant to come out. All right, and after the checkbox, instead of placeholder, what we are going to do is we are going to have an ID. All right, and this ID is meant to carry terms. All right, and after the terms is going to be required. All right, then let's close this and let's come back here and see. All right, see, we have sign up, please fill in this form to create accounts, first name, last name, email, password, confirm password, and see our checkbox here. We have our checkbox, so we can actually click on it and we can click on it. Oh my god, I'm so happy. So I think we're going to stop here. I don't want this video to be so long. So in our next video, I'm going to continue from where I stopped. All right. So see you guys. Bye.